Good evening, everyone, and welcome to John Cena's The Dreams Are Now. Right then, we're kicking off tonight's show by stepping back into the past to have John Cena take on the great Hulk Hogan. Two of the biggest baby faces in WWE's history collide at WrestleMania 3. Right, let's have a look at the old ranking system. And Cena is on +1 still, so he's still gained 2 points this week. He's gone from -1 to +1, so still doing okay. Obviously, yesterday's episode didn't really go as well for him as the previous one did. He did pick up, was it 2 or 3 losses in that episode? I can't remember now. So it wasn't great, and of course, missing out on the opportunity to walk away as the SWE World Champion as well. And Hulk Hogan, sorry, I just punched the microphone, I do apologise. Hulk Hogan, he's had a horrific year. Pretty much on par with CM Punk so far. He's on -5 for the year. Still +9 overall after 68 matches, of course. Hogan had his own little pay-per-view like this earlier in the year, and it did not go too well for him. He lost the majority of the matches, singles and tags and all sorts. So, yeah, it'd be disappointing for Hogan, I must admit. But this is a chance for him to turn things around at the end of the year as well. A win here would move him up 10 places and put him back into the top 35 in our ranking system, though. Points-wise, and when I say points, I mean stats-wise, both these guys are pretty much the same. I think they're both rated 94 in this game. So it really could go either way. It really could go either way. Yeah, big opportunity for the pair of them. This is the first of 5 matches today. We are spanning genres, ages, companies, all sorts. So up next, we will be having a triple threat match, as a couple of matches suggested on Discord. We have John Cena going up against Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay from AEW. After that, we'll be going back towards the Attitude Era to see John Cena take on Stone Cold Steve Austin. After that, we'll be heading back to Retro WCW for the Clash of Champions as John Cena takes on Ric Flair. A battle between the two guys who are fighting to be the, is it the most world championships? The world title legacy. And then our main event of the evening, heading over to New Japan Pro Wrestling as John Cena clashes with the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada. It's the WWE Ace versus the New Japan Ace versus the WWE's Ace versus the New Japan Ace versus the New Japan Ace of the next generation, Okada. Well, there we go. That was a lot of words. I got them out eventually. They weren't the right words in a lot of cases, but we got there in the end. And Cena looking to rock his 5 moves of doom. Both these guys have their own unique 5 moves of doom. But it's Cena who does take control early on, only for a 2 count. And you would feel like the winner of this one would definitely want to be pushing their way forward in the United States Championship picture. I think what I'm going to be doing soon is maybe defuncting the North American Championship and rebranding with the United States and the Canadian Championship. I think that's the sort of plan I had in my mind at the moment. Because we have the North American Championship at the moment has had the likes of Yokozuna as the winner. We've seen Bret Hart as the winner. We've seen Josh Alexander, the current winner. So I think if we make the the North American Championship defunct and replace it with the United States Championship, I think that's going to be the best way forward. Because I really want to focus in on having these geographical championships in place. I know, don't say it, but we have the European Championship, the All-Asian Championship, and the North American. So we're going to defunct the North American, we're going to recreate the United States and the Canadian Championships instead, and then of course we do have the Clash of Aztecs coming up soon. That'll be to crown our first Latin American champion, and we also have the Oceanic Championship in the pipeline to be done at some point, and then also we will look at doing the African Championship. It's not like I forgot about that, to be honest. And there's a few names for that. There's not a massive roster for the African Championship. I'm trying to go through our current ranking system and add geographical tags onto each person to make it a bit easier for me in the future. And when it comes to Africa, I mean, obviously we're looking at heritage booked from and stuff like that, and actually from. So Kofi Kingston was born in Ghana. We've got Apollo Crews, of course. We've got Omos. We've got the geezer in NXT. I've forgotten his name. What is his name? It is Obafemi. We've got Babatunde, or General Aziz. He was booked from Nigeria as well, wasn't he, for a while? We've got Kamala, Retro Kamala, who was booked from Uganda. We've got Akeem the African Dream, which is crazy, but he was booked from Africa. He was also One Man Gang and the Repo Man and stuff like that as well. We have... Who else is in there? Justin Gabriel, of course, or PJ Black as he's now known. Angelico, South African? Yeah, Angelico, South African as well. So there's a fair few. There's enough to make a decent roster out of it. It's not going to quite be as strong as some of the other rosters, but it's going to be a fun one as Hogan now looking to line up the atomic leg drop on the fallen John Cena. There's the pin for the 1, for the 2. No, only a 2 count. Wow. So let's see what ChatGPT said about this match. The Ultimate Face versus Face Company Showdown. The 80s superhero versus the 2000 superhero. Crowd psychology here would be absolutely insane. This would feel like a WrestleMania main event no matter where it's placed. This will be a crowd-pleasing spectacle. That's what it believes is the dynamic behind this match. And I don't disagree. Nice elbow there by Hogan. And he's definitely taken more and more control in this one. Hogan willing Cena back up and Cena able to avoid him. So yeah, we've got quite a lot of stuff going on coming up soon. I mean, the next couple of weeks are quite dense. Up until the sort of middle of January, it's quite dense. With a lot of stuff going on. We also need to do our Royal Rumbles as well in the new year. But as I say, we've got the 4 episodes here of the John Cena show. We've got 4 episodes of the highest rated matches from throughout the year. Then we've got 3 episodes of Hiroshi Tanahashi. And all of that before the middle of January. So we're going to be absolutely dense with content over the next couple of weeks. Which is going to kill me, I must admit. I do struggle to record this sometimes. It does frustrate me, but we've done okay the last couple of days. As John Cena looking to rock the 5-knuckle shuffle on Mr. Hogan. Is that enough for Cena to get the pin? He's not even going to go for the pin here. He's going to look to follow up with an attitude adjustment. Taking Hogan up and taking Hogan down. There it is for the 1, for the 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. I mean, if Hogan loses this, it's already been a pretty crappy year for him already. But this really would be bad for him. Somebody who you would expect to be at the real top end of the ranking system has been awful this year. He would have been in the top 20. He's been attitude adjustmented again. That's got to be it, hasn't it? 1, 2, and no, Hogan once again. Back-to-back attitude adjustments is not enough for Hogan, but Cena looking to make it a trifecta. Can he hit another? Maybe not. He's not gone for it. Over the top goes Hogan, crashing. Cena now with the elbow into the head. Hogan now re-entering the ring, looking to Hulk up. He's going to take Cena up into a powerbomb position. Slowly across the ring he goes. I don't understand why they do this. It really pees me off. Hit a buckle bomb. Why rotate it? It makes no sense. Never makes sense to me, that one at all, to be honest, but there you go. Hogan now looking to roll over Cena. There's the pin for the 2. It's only a 2 count. I mean, it would have been surprised if that was enough for the win, because, I'll be honest, Cena hasn't taken much damage compared to Hogan. But Hogan kicking out of 2 big attitude adjustments is absolutely crazy when you think about it. Lovely roll through there by Cena. Now looking to take the elbow as well. And Cena once again stalking. I thought he was going to go for it there, but maybe not. Cena now looking for a bear hug. Okay. Big opportunity. But Hogan with the elbows right into the back of the head. I would still like to do a potential couple of older shows as well, like do a Saturday night's main event and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty fun to do. Maybe we could number them. I was thinking this the other day, like with Saturday nights, do we just do like every now and again we'll just do a Saturday night's main event, we'll just number them. We'll do the same with what was the old, was it Clash of the Champions they used to do for WCW? Then you got In Your House we could do for that sort of early Attitude Era period of time as well. Hogan now brings Cena back up to a standing base, and he's going to go for the bear hug of his own. Will that be enough? Will Cena, the man who never gives up, give up in this chance? No, Cena is able to drop the elbows, and a slap across the face of Hogan, and a stiff lariat takes him down as well. Cena now up onto the top rope, looking to dive in with the fist right into the face. The super... I don't remember, did he ever use that move in real life? Because I've seen so many of those super, in this week. And he always seems to get very effective with them. And look at it here, a big chance to build up and get the victory with the STFU. So Hulk Hogan takes his 13th singles loss of the year, drops to a -6 for the year, a +8 overall. But Cena gets back into winning ways. His 8th singles victory of the year moves him back up to a +2 after 37. And he's got big chances tonight because 2 of the matches tonight are triple threat matches. And as we know, triple threat matches are worth more points. It's 3 points for a victory in a triple threat. So up next, we will have Cena versus Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay from AEW's Forbidden Door. If that's a win for Cena, he's going to walk away with 3 points from that one. That would be a huge boost for him this week. Like I said, it's not just about getting to the end for Cena. It's about building up the points. He hasn't had he's had the opportunity. He didn't win the SWE World Championship, but he does have the ability to build up a lot of points to really force his position next year in 2026. So lots of back and forth in this one. We see an atomic leg drop here by Hogan. We did also see at least 2 attitude adjustments, maybe more. Oh, my alarm's going off, okay. At least 2 attitude adjustments, maybe more. I'm not 100% sure. That diving 5-knuckle shuckle from the top rope, which he's used so many times this week, and it has been so effective. As I said, I don't think I really watched much of Cena's career, I must admit. But I don't remember him really doing that a lot, if ever, to be honest with you. But I might be wrong. Let me know in the comment section down below. Is that something he used to do a lot, that super 5-knuckle shuffle, or is that a bit more out there? But either way, it was the STFU was enough to pick up the victory here by Cena over Hulk Hogan. And look how happy he is back in WrestleMania 3. Pick up the victory over the absolute superstar of the era, Hulk Hogan. Right. Let's go from retro 80s to current day. And let's head to Forbidden Door for John Cena versus Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay triple threat. Right then, here we go. The bell goes. We are underway. John Cena has come from the retro 80s against Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Well, not Hollywood, that was he? He was standard Hulk Hogan then. He's come from the 80s against Hulk Hogan to visit the current day AEW and take on 2 of the biggest stars AEW have to offer in the shapes of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Now this, of course, is a triple threat match, so standard triple threat rules do apply. No disqualifications, no countouts. First pinfall or submission will be the victor, but it must take place inside the ring. The winner will be given 3 ranking points in our system, 1 point for the victory and 2 bonus points for defeating multiple opponents at once. So this is a great opportunity for Cena to really boost his stats. As we know, he's not doing terrifically well. He's back up to a +2 now. which he started the week on a -1, so a +2 is a pretty decent position for him to be. However, the other two are in much better positions. Kenny Omega is currently in 15th in our ranking system on +17 after 63. However, Will Ospreay is top, +32 after 50 matches, +14 for this year alone. But Will Ospreay also, interestingly, is the Intercontinental... No, he's not. Yeah, he is. He's the Intercontinental Champion. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens in this one. If one of these two guys were to pin Ospreay, I think that would secure them a guaranteed opportunity at that Intercontinental Championship. I mean, even if Ospreay doesn't win in general, maybe you could still argue that whoever does win this match would be up for that title. I mean, Ospreay's been an absolutely outstanding champion. We've only sort of kept track of recently the matches we've had for championships, and Ospreay, he's had a great run. He defended the belt back at Mayhem against Owen Hart. He defended the belt against Forbidden Door in a triple threat against Swerve and Bandido. He defended the belt at When Worlds Collide against Jeff Cobb. And he's also most recently defended the belt back at Invasion against both Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels. He's had an incredible championship run as Ospreay, and an incredible year in general that has really just forced him to the top of the ranking system. Bret Hart was top of the rankings for many, many years, and this was the year that Bret was dropped off of his pedestal. I mean, Bret will go into 2026 determined to force himself back onto the top of that ranking system, but we'll wait and see what happens. Lovely clothesline there by Kenny Omega, and looking for that standing moonsault as well. So big action this one expected. Let's see what ChatGPT had to say about this. John Cena as the anchor against the two modern athletic freaks. Epic WWE storytelling versus modern high-octane pacing... Octane? Let me read that again. WWE epic storytelling versus modern high-octane pacing and ability of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. You avoid either Omega or Ospreay overshadowing Cena by keeping him central in a triple threat match. This is your modern era versus legacy statement match for the card. There we go. And we sort of debated back and forth for a few of these sort of matches. I think I had some suggestions that said that Omega should be the match. I had a couple of suggestions of Ospreay being the match. And I thought, you know what? Let's try and make everyone happy and make it a triple threat. Why the freaking hell not? Why not abuse the system as much as we can? And like I said, all three of these guys would be desperate for the ranking points anyway. I mean, Cena, like I said, really wants to elevate himself up the ranking system. A +3 here would move him up into the top 100 for the first time ever, as there's the one-winged angel. So Ospreay hit the Styles Clash on Cena, and then Omega almost getting the win with a one-winged angel. Yeah, Omega here with the win, then getting those 3 points would put him up into the top 10, into 8th position to be more precise. Just below the Big Show, believe it or not. And of course, if Ospreay was to win this, he would go 7 points clear at the top of the ranking system, which is going to be very difficult for anybody to catch up in 2026. Ospreay, where's the hidden blade? Absolutely flattening Kenny Omega, but Cena's going to be there to break it up. And it'd be interesting what does happen with Cena now. Now he's officially retired. Will we ever see him anywhere else? Or is he just going to head to Hollywood now and be done with wrestling? I mean, I don't believe the retirement. I'm not going to lie. I know what WWE is like. Give it a year or so, and I reckon we'll see John Cena have some sort of part to play at the Saudi Mania. Because we know what Saudis are like. We've seen it in the past when they had that first Rumble and they started asking for the likes of Yokozuna and Andre the Giant to be in the Rumble. They don't care about the current day roster, the Saudis. They want the big names. They want the legacy, and John Cena holds that. So I would not be surprised at all if John Cena plays some sort of role in that Saudi Mania. I don't think we'll ever see John Cena in AEW. It'll be an interesting thing if it did happen. It would break the internet if it did happen, to be honest with you, but I think it's absolutely not impossible, but I think hell would freeze over before John Cena turned up on AEW television. I'd love it to happen, don't be wrong. I mean, I've never really been a massive fan of John Cena, but I feel like he could be an interesting person to pop up, and have a little doozy out there. Who knows? That knee strike there. I'll be honest, at the moment, this is very much just an Omega versus Ospreay match with John Cena involved here and there. John Cena's definitely, his moveset is getting massively outshined here, but I mean, he's holding his own. He's doing okay. Omega, lovely suplex there with the leg hooked, which is an interesting way of doing it, because what that does is that it tenses your muscles in that part of the body so that it hurts a lot more when you're dropped on it. It's a very smart thing to do, as Ospreay now with Omega up on the shoulders, in with a Stormbreaker. Cena's down on the outside. I think he will get back in time to break it up. He doesn't get back in time, but thankfully for him, Cena was able to break it up. And now look at Ospreay. Lovely. Wow, the moveset of Ospreay is incredible. There's a sling blade there by Omega as well. With the elbow in the face there by Omega, now taking Ospreay up on the shoulders. And looks to, well, the referee's trapped in the corner now. And now one-winged angel once again by Omega on Ospreay in the corner. Cena was there with the kendo stick, but Omega saw it coming. He just has that pace. And there's a poison rana by Omega on Cena. Cena, bless him, is struggling in there, isn't he? He definitely is struggling in this one. There's a nutbuster by Ospreay, then a big boot up into the face of Omega, then a springboard into the kick and the side of John Cena as well. Very effective, and now the kendo stick across the ankles of Cena. We've seen this before, and it's a very smart maneuver against Cena. We know that Cena depends so much on that attitude adjustment, so if you can damage his legs and weaken his core strength, he's going to find it much more difficult to lift you up and hit you with that attitude adjustment. Cena, though, oh, can Cena win this with a cheeky roll-up on Kenny Omega? Oh, that would have been an interesting way to finish it, I'll tell you. Cena now trying his hardest to showcase his high-flying ability with that springboard stunner. Once again, jumping straight on the pin, grabbing every opportunity he can, but again, it's only a 2 count. Ospreay now coming up behind Cena, springs him off the ropes, ducks underneath, and Cena flattens Ospreay with a stiff clothesline, and one for Omega as well. If Cena can pull off a win here, this would be huge, like I said. Cena now, there's a code red. Cena definitely starting to feel the style more. It took him a bit of time to get into it, but the longer this match has gone, the more agile Cena's become. He's not much agile after that, though. The knee strike into the face. Cena just lost a tooth. Ospreay dropping a knee now into the face of Omega, a couple on the side of the head as well. And now Ospreay has a big opportunity here to bring Cena back up to his feet. There's a boot in the gut. Is he thinking Stormbreaker here on Cena? He does have Cena up on the shoulders. Stormbreaker by Will Ospreay and John Cena, but Omega's going to be up in time to break that up. I'm not sure if Cena would have kicked out of that on time, to be honest, but Ospreay now with the elbows into the gut of Kenny Omega. Big chop across the chest, or sprung up onto the middle rope and got caught, though, with a dropkick right on the face by Kenny Omega, who now sends Cena into the corner. Ospreay taking Omega up, drops him in the Manhattan drop. So painful. If you've ever landed on your tailbone like that, you know just how much that frickin' hurts. My sister did it years ago. We went ice skating one Christmas, and my sister landed flat on her ass, and she still, to this day, that was like 6-7 years ago, she still to this day has a pain in her tailbone. It is so frickin' horrible when you do that. So horrible. The battle now on the outside. Remember, it's no countouts. The match can last as long as they want out here. But until they get back in the ring, there's no chance of a finish. Look at that. Wow. Absolutely broken neck on the ground. So that jab right in the face with the soles of the boots. Omega now sending Ospreay crashing into the barricade. Lovely. I love that. Capture German suplex, one of my favourite moves, you know. I really appreciate that move. I don't think it's something that Omega really uses much anymore, but that capture German is so cool. I mean, this is the chance of one of these two to get the win because Cena is flat out on his face on the outside. And it looks like Omega is going to use the ropes to his advantage to hoist up Ospreay, center of the ring, one-winged angel. Didn't go for the pin though, now he has gone for the pin. If he'd gone for it straight off the bat and hooked the leg, he might have got it, but he took a bit too long. And Cena now going to drop the elbow into the knee of Omega. I mean, Ospreay's flat out after that big one-winged angel. It's an opportunity for Cena or Omega to go for the win, but Omega gets caught now by Ospreay. Sits out power bomb by Will Ospreay on Kenny Omega. I mean, this match really could go either way. All of these guys have shown some incredible ability and had some high-impact maneuvers and had their chances to get the win. I think Cena there maybe looking to go for an AA, but Ospreay was just too quick. Hook Cena up on the shoulders, in with the Stormbreaker. There's the pin, but Omega's there to break it up instantly. Omega now sending Ospreay into the corner. Going to spin him around. Is he thinking about it? He might have been thinking about it, but Ospreay caught him with the elbow. There's the boot across the chest. Another big one. Lovely heel kick into the face there by Ospreay on Omega. Rolls Omega over. And now standing on the back of the knees. Stamping down the back of those knees as well. Really painful maneuver. Ospreay now stamping on the rib cage. And Cena just smartly here, just standing and watching this happen because he knows that it's just causing more damage to his opponents. He's got a great chance here of absolutely knocking it out the park. Cena now grabs a hold of Ospreay. Off the ropes, over the top he goes. Cena does seem a little step slower than the other two, I must admit, but he does have a massive experience edge over the pair. But can he take full advantage? That's the problem. He knows what he should be doing, but does he have the speed and agility to actually knock it out? Cena now with the elbows into the guts. Strike right in the face, and then Ospreay just throws the chair into the spine of John Cena. See, I think Cena might have the advantage here, though, you know. If he can knock out that, oh, I'll tell you, oh, went for the AA. Ospreay saw it coming. Ospreay now. Styles Clash onto the steel chair. Wow, Cena's going to be flat out. Cena just got hit with a Styles Clash onto the steel chair. And Cena somehow getting back up to his feet, only to get caught by the diving forearm by Ospreay. Ospreay now drop kicks Omega off the ropes. And now this could be the chance. Ospreay with Cena up on the shoulders. There's the Stormbreaker onto the steel chair as well. Omega's down. 1, 2. Oh my god, Cena kicked out. Cena actually freaking kicked out. Omega now taking Ospreay up on the shoulders. One-winged angel. This could be the chance now for Omega to get the victory and pin the Intercontinental Champion. He's done it. He has done it. Kenny Omega pins the Intercontinental Champion and is definitely going to force himself an opportunity at the SWE Intercontinental Championship in the future. Will Ospreay drops down to a plus 31 now in the ranking system, which still leaves him at the top by 3 clear points. Kenny Omega, though, gets himself 3 points tonight alone, which puts him up to a plus 20, which moves him up about 10 positions now, up to 8th position in the rankings. Absolutely fantastic. And John Cena does suffer himself the loss. I mean, if he can sort of stay at this level and get in, if he can walk away from this pay-per-view with a plus 2, that'll give him 3 points bonus on what he started the week on. I don't think that'd be bad. As long as he stays in the positives, I think this will be a decent week for him, because it's going to be difficult. He's facing the best of the best. It's always going to be difficult. It really is. But we do need to address that then. I think what I'm going to do is do some sort of title show in the new year. We can do all 3 of the YouTube championships. You guys can vote on who you want to see participate for those championships. But I do think... Wow, what was going on there? Look at the kendo stick flying around. But I do think, yeah, I think we've got to do Ospreay versus Omega for the SWE Intercontinental Championship. It just has to happen, doesn't it? Let me put down on the ranking system. Number 1, Kenny Omega. There we go. I've just put number 1 contender Kenny Omega on the title sheet just so I remember that he is the next man to get an opportunity because he pinned Ospreay in Cena Special. Pinned Ospreay in Cena Special. There we go. Right, we move on. And let's go to the Attitude Era next, I think. Right then, we started things off in the 80s, we teleported to the current day, and now we go back to the mid to late 90s as John Cena goes one-on-one against Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say with this. The two biggest faces of the two biggest eras. Promo battles alone could sell out the show. Crowd reaction for this will be absolutely nuclear, pure icon versus icon energy. And it's interesting, I know I searched up and we had quite a few suggestions on Discord for this being a dream match. When I searched up online, a lot of people also said this was a dream match, and I can see why, because they were both the big sort of names from their generation, but I don't think the styles are going to mesh incredibly well, but it's not really about that in WWE, is it really? It's all about storytelling, it's all about crowd reaction. This would get a massive reaction from the crowd, I would imagine. Stone Cold Steve Austin is just obviously the issue was that Cena was able to face off against The Rock, and I think Cena versus The Rock was the more obvious choice. They were both the big sort of baby faces of their era. I mean, The Rock sort of dabbled back and forth, as did Austin, I suppose, as well, but that was the one to me that was correct. And also what we did earlier on, Cena versus Hogan, for me, again, was a really obvious one. But for this one, for me, I can see it. I can see why. It wouldn't have necessarily been my first idea, to be honest with you, but a lot of other people think it's the right match to go for, and I'm nothing if not one to do what people tell me to do. Right, looking at the ranking system then, where do we have these two? We know that Cena is currently in 237th position on +1 now after 38 matches. Still at a plus for the week. He started the week on -1, so he's doing okay. And then we have Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is in 23rd position on +15 after 40 matches. Only 4 matches this year, though, to be honest. Not a ton of action for Austin. It's something we probably need to sort of delve into a bit more next year, is maybe do some more Attitude Era stuff, because I think the issue is that Austin's appearances have been... Well, he did Invasion, didn't he? We had a match. But apart from that, he's not had a ton of opportunities. So far this year, he's had 2 singles wins, 2 singles losses, and he's gained 2 bonus points, which I think means that he probably won a triple threat at some point, which is his additions at the moment. So he's got a big chance here to get an extra point. A point here would move him up 3 positions, which would put him up to 20th position, so it wouldn't be bad at all. But Austin's probably someone we need to sort of have a little more of a look at next year. Maybe it's just about I need to just put some more people in, you know, as you do. Just try and change things up a bit more. I think this year we've done a lot of... Granted, we didn't start until like September, October, August this year, did we really? But I think we did a lot of the same stuff. We did a lot of AEW, a lot of current day WWE, and I think if we do change things about a little bit, like I'm going to try and not overdo it as much next year. Try and do a bit more often, but less content, if that makes sense, because at the moment I think I've burnt myself out a few times on this team, I must admit. So maybe we do different. I was saying earlier, wasn't I, about potentially doing like a in your house. We could just do some classic sort of mid to late 90s matches on there. We can do we can just do random shit, can't we? Really, it doesn't really matter, does it? Doesn't really matter at all. Big double axe handle there by Austin into the spine of John Cena. And Cena now looking to rock out with the 5 moves of doom. He's hit the 2. He's going to go for that front drop, and now he's going to bounce around looking for that 5-knuckle shuffle. Doesn't go for it, though. It frustrates me that he never seems to go off and do the full moves. We never see him succeed in the full 5 moves of doom so far, have we, really? Nice clothesline there, taking down Austin now. And there we go. Now he's going to go for the 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. Dropping the fist into the face of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, though, doesn't go for the pin. He just goes for the... no, that's the wrong way around. He does go for the pin. He doesn't go for the attitude adjustment. He doesn't go for the 5th and final move of doom. If he can hit that, he might have a good chance. Cena here showing incredible core strength just to lift Austin off the ground. And then he does hit that attitude adjustment, middle of the ring. This might actually be enough. The damage has been done, but no, Austin able to break free. But I'll be honest, that was surprising how close that was this early in the match. Very surprised indeed. Cena ducks underneath. Nice hip toss, taking down Austin. Cena now looking for the kick in the back of the head. Austin able to avoid. Austin spins Cena around. Austin now slamming Cena spine first into the mat and then throwing him into the ring as well. And Austin in control of Cena now. Big boot right into the side of the head. Cena has been busted open. And we know what happens there. It's liquid energy running from the skull of your opponent. There's only so long Cena can go with that bleeding happening. Austin, though, stalking now as he thinking about a Stone Cold Stunner. Austin flattens Cena. This could be enough for the 1, for the 2, and oh my god, that was close to the 3. That was really close to the 3 count, that was. Cena now with a boot in the face of Austin. Cena now trying to take some control. Cena brings Austin back up to a knee. And now in with that big boot right into the side of their head. Looking for the big splash, but Austin able to move out the way. Austin now looking to take control. Sending Cena face first into that top. Lee flattens Cena. Nice enziguri by Cena. Incredible. Cena obviously learning some moves from his high-flying action match previously against both Omega and Ospreay. And this, of course, only the 3rd match of the night tonight. We've got 2 more matches left after this one for you. Up next, we'll have John Cena up against Ric Flair in a real clash of the champions. The 2 guys fighting to win the most world championships in history. And then finishing the night off with another triple threat, this time over in New Japan for Tanahashi, Okada and Cena. There's the 2nd Stone Cold Stunner of the match. That might be enough for the game, the set, and the match. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he hasn't had many chances this year, but he has taken them, and he moves up to plus 16 after 41, plus 3 after 5 for the year, and that puts Cena back down to a 0. Still better than where he started this week, but there's still some very difficult matches ahead of Cena, and he could end up dropping back down below 0. But Austin did incredibly well, hitting that Stone Cold Stunner twice in this match. There was the 1, there was the 2, and not the 3 for the first one. But the 2nd Stone Cold Stunner was enough to finish off Mr. Cena. Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was. Did he hit 3? Was I not paying attention? There was that big front drop. That was Cena trying to hit those 5 moves of doom. We did see him go for the 5-knuckle shuffle in the end. I'm sure these highlights are out of order. Out of order. There was that 5-knuckle shuffle. That was only a 2 count, but it was close nonetheless. Here was a powerbomb by Cena. Oh, it wasn't. It was it. Oh, I'm losing track now. I remember this part now, yeah. The powerbomb. That was really cool, that was. He sort of lifted him up, deadlift from the ground, then turned him over into the attitude adjustment. It was a really cool maneuver. It really was. And this is where Austin finally started to take more and more control. There was that stunner. That was the second stunner of the match, or the third? I can't remember now. I've lost track. Either way, Stone Cold Steve Austin won the match. That's all that really matters, doesn't it, really? What a guy. What a guy. So Stone Cold Steve Austin gets the important point tonight. He finishes the year on a high. Cena still has some hard work to do as he moves on to the next two matches of the night. Next up, Cena goes back to the ancient days of the 90s or the 80s to WCW to visit Ric Flair at the WCW Clash of Champions. Right then, we popped back into our time machine and headed back once again to the late 80s, early 90s to WCW's Clash of the Champions to bring Ric Flair versus John Cena. Now, this one has been a perpetual debate for many years about the most world championships. Of course, Cena did break Flair's record in 2025 with that win against Cody at WrestleMania. It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Where he won the Did he win the championship at Mania? He did, didn't he? Is my brain gone? My brain's gone, hasn't it? Yeah. He won the championship in 2025 either way and became a 17-time world champion, overtaking Flair's record. Let's see what ChatGPT had to say about this one. World title legacy on the line symbolically. Old school psychology versus modern big match pacing. Perfect respect, legacy and history match. Legacy versus modern style icon storyline. And also, I quite like... I was just sort of Googling it to try and find out some more stuff, and Google AI does some new stuff as well. I'm really milking AI in this one, I know, but here we go. John Cena versus Ric Flair is a classic debate comparing two wrestling's biggest legends, primarily centered on their record-tying 16 World Championship reigns. A feat John Cena recently surpassed for 17 titles, cementing his place in history while honoring Flair's legacy. With fans often debating who was better in their prime, with in-ring skill, mic work, overall impact across different eras. Both held 16 recognised world championships, with Cena recently winning his 17th in 2025, finally breaking Flair's long-standing record. Era and style, Flair was NWA WCW's icon, most known for his limousine riding, kiss-stealing persona, and intense in-ring work, while Cena became WWE's top star, known for his hustle, loyalty and respect mantra, massively popular and connecting with the younger audience. In-ring wise, while some would argue that Flair is a superior worker, Cena's dedication and work ethic are legendary, and his ability to carry the company for years is undeniable. In terms of mic skills, both are considered exceptional talkers, with Flair renowned for his charismatic promos and Cena for his powerful, relatable speeches, though opinions vary on who was better. In my opinion, it's got to be Flair, hasn't it? I mean, Cena has done incredibly well for WWE, and I know it's very, very different this day and age, but for me, Flair has got to be one of the best, if not the best, in-ring worker of all time. That argument's always going to be out there. Flair, Brett, I think two of the top technical... It depends what you like, isn't it, I suppose? I mean, Flair and Brett are two of the best technical wrestlers of all time. But there are others. You've got the likes of, obviously, Omega is a very different style, but people will prefer Omega as a better wrestler in general. It's all down to era. I know people like Omega. When I say Omega, I mean Omega Project, the old geezer in the old YouTube comments. He is much more of a retro fan. I'm sure he'll be much more on the side of Ric Flair. However, some of the more younger audiences and that would probably be more into people like your Kenny Omegas, Will Ospreays, people like that. I enjoy watching everything, to be honest. It depends what mood I'm in. It really does. I could easily watch Flair versus Sting from Clash of Champions, 45-minute draw. But I could easily watch Omega versus Ospreay or Omega versus Okada from Wrestle Kingdom. It depends what mood you're in and what you're looking for. And of course, there's many other people that are put in that bracket of some of the best of all time. You've got the likes of Eddie Guerrero, people will talk about. Chris Benoit probably doesn't get spoken about anymore because of the other issues in that situation, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is always a debate about who was the best, and I feel like they're both going to go down for different things. Flair's going to go down as one of the best in-ring workers of all time, and Cena's going to just go down as one of the biggest stars of all time. Similar to The Rock, Cena has now, where they're sort of they're broken out of the wrestling mold, and they've been able to go into and do some massive stuff in television as well, and become an outright massive celebrity, sort of outgrowing the company they worked for. And not only outgrowing the company they worked for, but dragging that company along as well. And that's one good thing WWE have done, really, I suppose, with the likes of The Rock, with the likes of Cena, even Logan Paul. They're sort of using the people they have to sort of force themselves into an audience that's not necessarily a wrestling audience. So it's a smart thing they've done. But there you go. Anyway, enough talking faff. Let's get into the match itself. We have in front of us Ric Flair, currently on +9 after 36 in our ranking system in 44th position. John Cena back down to 0 after 39, so things aren't going as well for Cena. He now sits back in 370th position. He's still +1 for the week, but with big wins in matches like this, he would love to get himself even higher up. And of course, we've still got one more big match to come for you this evening, which will be... Is that a tap-out victory? Oh my god, John Cena just made Ric Flair tap out. Wow. Holy guacamole, John Cena just made Ric Flair tap out live at WCW Clash of the Champions. Oh my word, okay. Well, that puts Cena back up to a +1, and Flair is going to be dropping down to a +8. But wow, Flair just tapped out to John Cena in what was quite a short match, in my opinion. I thought there would have been more to that, to be honest. I was still talking the opening crap. I was still babbling away. But yeah, Ric Flair tapping out to the STFU. I mean, it was dead center of the ring. He had nowhere to go. The camera cut away, though. That's the interesting thing. You never saw Flair tap. The camera cut away. Is Vince rigging this? Is this the new Montreal Screwjob? Did Flair tap? Flair will deny it. The cameras don't show it, but John Cena takes the victory, and he's very happy with himself. Wow. That has shocked me, to be honest. That really has shocked me. Right. It's time for the main event of the evening. John Cena's heading to New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom for a triple threat against Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada. Right, then the bell goes. We are underway for this New Japan Wrestling triple threat. John Cena stepping into the world of Japan. This is an interesting one, this. Originally, this match was scheduled just to be Cena versus Tanahashi, the real sort of ace versus ace for their companies. But we had some suggestions that Okada would be an interesting match for Cena as well. I mean, we only had 5 matches on the card, so I thought a triple threat would be an interesting way to go. According to Mr. GPT, this is WWE's ace versus New Japan's ace of this generation. Tanahashi has the heart and the storytelling. Okada has the dominance and timing. And Cena has the resilience and power. This is a global wrestling summit, which I quite like, to be honest with you. And according to Google, Cena, Okada and Tanahashi represent the top ace figures from WWE and New Japan respectively, embodying different styles of leadership, storytelling and in-ring experience. Of course, Cena's retirement tour has just finished. Tanahashi is in the process of doing his at the moment, and his final match will be at Wrestle Kingdom against Okada as well at Wrestle Kingdom 20. So it's going to be a really interesting match, this one. Of course, Tanahashi and Okada have a long-standing rivalry. Tanahashi is often lauded for his storytelling and emotional connection, while Okada is more recognised for his modern, high-intensity Rainmaker style. Cena is frequently compared to Tanahashi as the face that runs the place for WWE, though some analysts argue that Tanahashi's in-ring work is more highly regarded. I think that's true, just like we had with the Ric Flair match earlier. I tell you what, Tanahashi versus Ric Flair would be a good match as well, wouldn't it? But there you go, fantasy book of a match between Cena and Tanahashi has been widely discussed as a dream match but never materialised, while Cena noting he lacked the booking power to make it happen. It would have been great if WWE were doing this whole working with other companies thing. I know it seems to have died on its arse a bit recently, I must admit, and they're still working with TNA. Of course, they own AAA now, but they were doing some work with Marigold and Noah, which is sort of, it's still slightly going on with the younger guys coming through NXT, but not much else. Not like when they sent AJ Styles across to work against Marufuji. That was an amazing match that happened. But I would like to see him do a bit more, and there was talk about potentially Nakamura going to be Tanahashi's final opponent, but of course that never really materialised. Mainly, I don't know, rumour had it that WWE were not willing to help New Japan much because of New Japan's working relationship with AEW, but who knows what the real reasons behind that actually are. Alright then, in the ranking system, Cena now back up to a +1 after that victory, which puts him still in 370th. So he's doing okay, but he needs to get some more points. Remember, this is a triple threat match. It's worth 3 ranking points, so this is a big chance for one of these guys to elevate themselves. So you've got Okada currently in 4th in the ranking system on +27 after 44. A win here with the 3 ranking points would move him up to 2nd, ahead of Bret the Hitman Hart, only behind Will Ospreay by 1 single point. And Tanahashi, I've got a feeling Tanahashi is in terrible position. Oh, no, he's actually done okay now. Tanahashi's up to a +1 as well. He's in 247th. He's on a +5 for the year, which has really helped him because he started the year in a terrible position. So it could be a good finish of the year for Tanahashi if he can get these points. And of course, Tanahashi's own retirement week is coming up in the new year. A 3-part show of Tanahashi's firsts, Tanahashi's big moments from his career, and then some dream matches for Tanahashi as well. So be sure to check that one out if you're a big fan of Tanahashi, which I'm sure everyone should be. If you don't know a lot about Japanese wrestling, never really watched much of it, I would definitely suggest watching those shows because you're going to see some fun stuff. Tanahashi taking on people like Toji McCabe, which was his debut match. You've got Giant Bernard, otherwise known as Albert or Lord Tensai, which was Tanahashi's first ever IWGP Heavyweight Championship win. Yuji Nagata as well, a big sort of passing of the torch match. There's a high fly flow there by Tanahashi on Cena, which also links into one of the dream matches. We'll have Tanahashi facing Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio in a 3-way. Tanahashi often spoke about the fact that his high fly flow is a adaptation of Eddie Guerrero's frog splash. There was a pin there by Okada after the Rainmaker clothesline, almost getting a quick victory here. But yeah, that's going to be a really fun one. Before then, we are going to have the Match of the Years for 2025 shows. They'll be coming up for you pretty soon, starting actually this Friday. I've been talking recently about cutting down the amount of videos I'm doing and trying to do more quality over quantity, but to be honest, I've just put my schedule together for January and it's doing a proper show every other day, and I don't know how I've ended up in this situation. I really don't, but we'll do it for now, and then maybe we'll have a bit more of a calmer February just to see how things go, but we'll get there. Tanahashi now working over Okada fighting free, sending Tanahashi off the ropes. Yeah, so I mean all 3 of these guys desperate for these points. Both Cena and Tanahashi need the points because they're quite low in the system. And Okada needs the points desperately to try and get himself up to 2nd in the ranking system and only 1 point behind the current leader, which is Will Ospreay. And we already know that in the new year... Oh, bugger, I was supposed to do that, weren't I? I need to squeeze an extra show in somewhere now. We need to do a Clash of Champions one day because we know that we have to do Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the Intercontinental Championship now, based on the result earlier tonight, don't we? Bugger. I did all that bloody schedule only to find out that it needs to be redone. Maybe I'll do it on New Year's Eve as like a special. Cena now, lovely, taking Okada up into that attitude adjustment onto the bits of broken kendo stick. That might be enough. But Tanahashi, ooh, I don't know if Tanahashi would have got there in time, to be honest. I'm not sure if he would have got there in time. Yeah, let's just do Clash of Champions on New Year's Eve. Oh, let's give myself even more freaking work to do. It's only going to be a 4-match card, I think, that one. We'll do all 3 of the European... Well, we'll have a look. There might be a 5-match card. It depends. I'll have to have a look at the champions and see if anyone really does deserve an opportunity at anything. Or if there's anything we do need to defend that has been defended in quite some time. I don't know if there's anyone out there who's like a massive #1 contender, to be honest. I mean, the 3 YouTube championships will definitely do. Intercontinental Championship will definitely do. SWE Championship we've done recently. I don't know if we've done... Oh, Women's Championship was back at Legacy. That wasn't too long ago. Maybe European. We haven't done it in a while. That was back at Invasion. All Asian we're doing as part of the Tanahashi show anyway. Yota Tsuji at Legacy won the Bloodsport Championship. Meiko Satomura... No, Killer Kelly won the Women's Bloodsport Championship back at... I'll have to have a look. I'll have a look through the rankings, see who's looking high up and see who deserves the opportunity to go for something, I suppose. Nice Russian leg sweep there by Okada. Cena now sending Okada crashing chest first into the ring steps. Remember, this is triple threat, so no countouts, no disqualifications. First pinfall or submission will be the victor, but it must take place inside the ring. Cena now, oh, big elbows in the gut. Maybe I should do whoever's had the best year in 2025. Who's that? So there's a few. There's 4 people that have had a plus 13 in 2025. That is Will Ospreay, Roman Reigns, Edge, and Cody Rhodes. What about the female ranking system? Who's had the best year? Io Shirai, which doesn't really help because she's a women's champion, so that doesn't really help me, to be honest. Charlotte's had the second. Well, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley have had the second best year. Maybe we could do a triple threat for the Women's Championship. Io Sky, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley. I don't know. Maybe I'll put that as a vote for you guys. I'll put some matches together and you guys can vote on which one you want to be on the card. Seems like the best way of doing it. Okada now with a pin on Cena. Broken up. Tanahashi now dragging Okada across. Sends him off the ropes, and oh, aim with that running elbow, taking him down. And lovely crucifix as well on John Cena. And I mean, this really could go either way, this match, to be honest. I can't think there's a favourite in this one. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. So, yeah, it really could go any way, this match, in all. Got the knees in the back there by Okada. Now a boot in the side of the head of Tanahashi. Okada with the strikes. Lovely dropkick, Okada, of course, well known for those incredible drop kicks. And Okada stalking Cena. This could be opportunity because Tanahashi's down on the outside. The spinning back fist in to the Rainmaker clothesline center of the ring for Okada to pick up the... Ooh, that were close, that were. That were right close, that were. Okay. Maybe it wasn't enough. Running knee strike there by Okada. Tanahashi catch him now in with that big German suplex. Cena back up to his feet. Tanahashi sends him off the rope. Cena able to avoid looking for a clothesline of his own, but Tanahashi saw him coming now with the strikes, the slaps and the chops. Cena now scoops, slams, sits out on Okada. Tanahashi though looking to return the favour. Cena slides out the back and chops away at the back of the knee. Smart manoeuvre there. Because if you do chop away the knee of someone like a Tanahashi, we know that Tanahashi's knees are absolutely diabolical anyway. Tanahashi's knees are absolutely shot. But also, it's going to make things a lot more difficult for him to climb to the top and potentially hit that high fly flow on you. Okada now willing Tanahashi back up to a standing base. Okay, he didn't go for anything though. He's now going to work over Cena instead. Interesting. Okada brings Cena back up. And of course, don't forget, we've got one more show from this 4-part special to come for you. That'll be Cena's last ride, or the last time is now. We've got Cena's last WrestleMania match against Cody Rhodes. Cena's highest rated match of his final run against AJ Styles. We've got his last television appearance, a 6-man tag. Cena, Rey Mysterio and Sheamus versus Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. We'll have Cena versus Dominic Mysterio one-on-one from Survivor Series War Games. And then we'll finish off the whole Cena special with John Cena versus Gunther from Saturday night's main event. Nice DDT there by Okada on Tanahashi. And now Okada raining down the forearm into the face of Cena. Now drops into the pin for the 1, for the 2, and a 3. Wow, Okada with the victory in this one out of nowhere, really, in my opinion. I mean, this is the whole situation of the straw that breaks the camel's back, isn't it? Enough damage was done for him to get the victory, and it is Okada then who's going to pick up... Oh, done that wrong. Oh, God. There we go. Okada is going to pick up the point and the 2 bonus points as well, which puts him up to a plus 30 in the ranking system now, which means that Will Ospreay is number 1, Okada number 2, Roman Reigns number... Hang on a minute. Where's Bret Hart gone? Bret Hart's in 4th. Okay, no, Bret Hart's joint 3rd with Roman Reigns. But it's after more matches. Wow, okay. Indeedy do. Okay, let me do... If I do it like this, right, does this work? Okay. No, I want it the other way around. I want it like that and then like that. Okay, I think this works. Sorry, what I've done with the ranking... Here we go, yeah. So what I've done with the ranking system now is everyone who's on the same amount of points, whoever's had the least amount of matches is higher in the ranking system. So yeah, Will Ospreay is number 1 with 31 points after 51 matches. Okada number 2 with 30 points after 45 matches. Roman Reigns number 3, 28 points from 40 matches. Bret Hart is number 4 with 28 points from 61 matches. Bret Hart's had a bad year. He's on a -1. The guys around him have all had pretty high positives indeed, so it's not gone well for him as well. Tanahashi then, with his loss, is going to move back down to a 0 after 20 matches. He has a big chance to elevate himself up. And John Cena goes back down to a 0 as well after 41 matches. So not good at all for John Cena or for Hiroshi Tanahashi, who now both sit on 0 points. Well done, though, to the Rainmaker Okada. He is victorious, and he has the last laugh in Cena's Dream Matches episode. Right, that is the end of today's show. I hope you have enjoyed. Of course, if you have, hit the like, subscribe, and the other good stuff, and I will see you again very soon for the finale of this 4-part special, Cena's last ride, his last Mania match, his last highest rated match, his last television match, his last pay-per-view match, and his last match ever. In theory. I still think he'll turn up at Mania next year at Saudi, but there you go. Love you, good night, God bless, like, subscribe, and the other good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.